Let's talk about building an IT infrastructure that's actually designed to survive when things go wrong. Today, we're digging into the ultimate safety net that's built right into Windows Server 2025. It's a feature that's all about making sure your business keeps running even when your hardware decides to take a break.
So let's just start with the one question that probably keeps every IT pro up at night. Imagine it's, 3 a.m. You get that alert. Your main application server, it's just gone offline. What happens next? It's a pretty terrifying scenario, and honestly, for a very good reason. Because the reality, it's brutal, and it's fast. Every single minute that server is down, your business is basically closed. Customers can't access services, your internal teams are stuck, and you could almost literally hear the money just draining away. The stakes are incredibly high.
All right, so let's get right to the heart of the problem. That moment of failure.
You know, the classic setup of running a super important service on just one machine, well, it creates this massive vulnerability. Doesn't matter if it's a hardware glitch, a software bug, or even just planned maintenance. That one server becomes a single point of failure. If it goes down, everything it does goes down right along with it.
But what if you could build a system that expects things to fail? A system that not only anticipates it, but handles it automatically and, well, gracefully. This is where we get to meet our safety net.
So the tech behind this whole idea is called failover clustering, and it's actually a pretty elegant concept. You just take a bunch of separate servers, we call them nodes, and you group them together so they act like a single system. They're constantly checking in on each other, basically, ready to jump in at a moment's notice.
And that's really the perfect way to think about it. It's a safety net. If one of your servers trips and falls, the cluster is there to catch that workload before it ever hits the ground. For your users, for your applications, the service just keeps on running. It's pretty much the ultimate protection against an unexpected disaster.
Okay, so that sounds great in theory, but how does this safety net actually work? Let's break down the mechanics of what's happening behind the scenes.
It's really just a simple 4-step dance. So, step 1, everything's great. Your app is running on one of the active servers. Step 2, the cluster service, which acts like a constant heartbeat between all the servers, suddenly notices a problem. One of the servers isn't responding. Step 3, this is where the magic happens. The cluster automatically and instantly moves the application and all its resources over to a healthy, waiting server. And finally, step 4, the service just resumes, often in seconds. It happens so fast your users probably won't even notice a thing.
And when you look at it side by side like this, man, the difference is night and day. Without clustering, you're looking at a stressful manual recovery with a whole lot of downtime. With clustering, you get automatic failover, minimal disruption, it's built-in protection. It's really the difference between a full-blown crisis and a total non-event.
And listen, we're not talking about protecting some minor background process here. We are talking about the heavy hitters, the absolute heart of your business. Your Hyper-V virtual machines, your mission-critical SQL databases, those huge file shares everyone relies on, even massive enterprise apps like SAP. All of it can be protected by this safety net.
So we've covered the how, but now let's get to the why. Why does this all matter? Because this isn't just some cool tech feature, it's a core business strategy that has a real, tangible impact.
The benefits are just so clear. First, you slash your downtime, which protects your revenue and your company's reputation. Second, you get real fault tolerance with those automatic health checks and smart failovers. Third, it's designed to grow with you. Need more power? Just add another server to the cluster. And last, but definitely not least, is the peace of mind. That's a huge one for any IT team.
Now, failover clustering isn't brand new, but it's always getting better. And in Windows Server 2025, it's getting some pretty serious upgrades that make it smarter and more resilient than it's ever been.
Yeah, the 2025 version is all about making that safety net even faster and smarter. For example, it can detect a hung or unresponsive server way quicker, which means less disruption. They've improved cluster shared volumes. That's the tech that lets all the servers see the same storage at once to be more robust. And the deep integration with stuff like Storage Spaces Direct, it lets you build these amazing hyper-converged systems where your computing and storage are locked in tight for the best possible performance and resiliency.
And that's really the bigger picture here. Failover clustering in Windows Server 2025 isn't just a tool you use after a disaster. It's a proactive strategy. It's about building a modern, resilient, cloud-ready foundation for all your most important services. You're designing for uptime right from the start.
So, we'll leave you with this one thought. We all operate in a 24/7 world now.
Our businesses, our customers, they expect things to work all the time. In an environment like that, relying on someone to manually fix things after they break, well, that feels less like a plan and more like a gamble. So the real question is, can you really afford to operate without that safety net?